Hey guys, Matt here from Loon Outdoors. Today we're going to be tying a jumbo midge pattern, and it's a NS 156 traditional shrimp hook from Ahrex. We have a 3/16 tungsten gritty bead in white. I'm going to be using some fluorescent fire red glow bright floss for our thread base and most of our fly, some 0.15 non-lead wire, and that's just going to be helping to ramp up the front collar and also hold our bead in place a little bit. So I'll take about 8 or so turns, maybe I got a little wild here. This is a lot more turns. So it's probably like 12 at this point. We're going to shove that up in there. This is a big midge, so that's okay. I'm going to trim off a little bit of excess there. Not always recommended. So I'm going to start my my floss at the back of the fly there. And what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and pull those back forward. I think I snagged my bobbin there for a second. So we're going to trim off the excess of the tag. This stuff's really wispy. It's kind of weird. Sort of reminds me of like, it's a very strange floss material. It's got a lot of, it's kind of dynamic. So it's a little intriguing to work with at times. So you can see right now all I'm doing is creating my tag, or my ramp where we'll be going up to the front of our body. Next up, Vivus Body Quill. This is BQ7. It's red. My program with this is I'm going to pull off a lot of it. You can see I'm taking off quite a bit. Now I'm going to quadruple this up. I'm going to put it in, basically make 4 strands out of that long pole. So I fold it in half, and fold it in half again, and trim up all the loose edges. So you can see I'm pinning it in half there with the thread for the final thing. So I'm working with 4 strands here, and you really have to mind your hook point with the glow bright floss. It definitely can get away from you. Next up, this is just a piece of standard crystal flash. It's clear, or pearl, whatever you want to call it. I always think of it as a clear crystal flash, with because they're all pretty pearlescent. And I'm going to be using some small uni wire. I use a brown. You could use black, you could use any color that you desire. For me, small brown. Black is a really harsh color, and I don't have a lot of faith in jet black segmentation on stuff. Typically, if I can, I try to lighten up my segmentation because, like I said, black's just a really harsh color in nature. So you can see I build a pretty nice little thread body. There's some stuff showing through. That's okay. Not a major issue. Next, I'm going to take our ribbing out of the equation, and then we'll go ahead and pin that back. Good trick to avoid what I just did there is you actually cut all 4 ends so they pass through and they can't lasso anything. I wasn't that sharp in this video, but that's what I typically do. And you can see with those 4 strands, I pretty much make like a flat body material. It's going to be translucent, and the reason that I like that is the Glow Bright floss actually has like a ton of UV reactive like dyes in it or whatever it might be, but it really glows underneath UV light. So that's going to be able to show through and look really cool. So I'm going to start with my wire, and we take segmentation. You can take your time, you can do these quick. If you get proficient at this fly, I mean, this is a very fast fly to tie. You could fill a box, probably on a one of those dining trays in front of your TV. It's a pretty basic pattern, and it's not going to, require the utmost attention, if you will. Next up, I'm going to chase that wire to the best of my ability with the crystal flash. See, when you pull tension on the crystal flash, it actually flattens out, which is fine. I didn't need it to be crystal flashy. It's just a little quick hack. If you have crystal flash on hand and you wanted something that was flat, just put a little tension on it. It takes the twist out of it. So next up, I create just a slight collar with that glow bright floss that's going to be on the outside of the fly, not hidden by the red body quill. And that's like, it's just really a hot spot. Something to key in on where we're using the glow bright floss to give the fish something to see. And I'm going to go ahead and whip finish. You can see glow bright thread doesn't, or floss does not love being whip finished. That's okay. Take your time. Be careful. Next up is going to be our flow, and I just lightly coat the fly. This is going to create a very gelatinous, deep look to the pattern, and you'll start to see that crystal flash really pops. I'll call myself out on it right now. My segmentation isn't 100% perfect. We hit it with the infinity light, and we basically have a bomb-proof mega midge pattern that you can use at a number of lakes. Something like a pyramid, Eastern Oregon, stuff like that. Hope you guys found this informative. Tune in next time. We'll see you then.